going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden 21 Ultimate Team video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the best cards to use your 93 to 94 overall power-up pass on. Sorry for the delay on this video. I know this power-up pass has been available via ranking up and through our daily objectives for a couple days now, but it's here. So if you guys need any assistance figuring this out, we got the video for you, and we'll be dropping a separate video on the best options for your 95 overall power-up pass. So first thing to talk about is how do you earn this power-up pass? So you can actually get two of them if you've been playing this game kind of since launch, but at least one of them is going to come through your level up, and that's going to be hitting level 73. So if you go to MUT dedication, you go down to MUT level, this is going to view all of the rewards for you, and I know my face cam is going to be kind of blocking it, but if you go all the way down to level 73, you might not have to scroll this far down to get it if you haven't met that level yet. But right here, you can't really see it because of my face cam, but this is how you get the first 93 to 94 overall power-up pass, by getting to level 73. Now, I have two of them. I used one, and I have one that I haven't used, and we got that from the daily engagement. So if you go to your daily engagement in missions, you'll see once you hit 150 daily objectives, you're going to get another 93 to 94 power-up pass. We'll talk about the 95 overall one, but just looking ahead, when you hit 175 daily objectives, you do get a free 95 overall power-up pass, and then you'll get one from hitting level 80 as well. And again, we'll have a separate video on that. So one thing that I like to do when trying to figure out my best options, and this is something that I encourage all of you to do on where to use power-up passes, is check pricing. Because typically, you're going to be using a power-up pass to substitute a card that might already be on your team, and you're looking for a way to maybe make some coins off of it. So I always go to muthead.com, I sort by whatever overall it is, and then, list it by price. So right now we have all the 93, 94s in the game, sorted by price. And the most expensive one out there is Isaiah Simmons. Now, I'm going to tell you a reason Isaiah Simmons, right? You might want to hang on to one of your power-up passes in case, or I should say if and when. I feel like he will get a power-up, right? Once he does, he's got that 87, I think it is, 87 overall rookie card. You can use the power-up pass on that, and then you got this one at 94. So for me, I used one of these. I have another one. I might actually just hang on to it and wait and hope that Isaiah Simmons gets himself a card, and then just use it on him later on down the road. Will that definitely happen? It's not guaranteed, so you don't necessarily have to do this, but it is something that I might do because I can't really find a good place to use my second power-up pass. To be honest, the 93-94 power-up pass is a little outdated at this point, because we're already in the 96 and 97 overall range for cards, and this one, it's just not as valuable as it normally would be with the new series release. One other thing, when you scroll through the pricing on here to be aware of, is that a lot of these cards are inflated because some of these top cards right here are all limiteds, and if you look a little further down, they all have another card that's their series redux, which is much, much cheaper. So keep that in mind here. But with all that being said, we're going to go over the best. I think I have, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like 5 or 6 cards on my list that we're going to go over for your best use of the 93-94 power-up pass. Normally, I save the best for last, but I'm going to give you the best one first, and that's going to be Shaquille Griffin. Cornerback. There's a lot of really good cornerbacks in the game, but if you take a look at his card, right, his power-up is really, really cheap right now. This power-up was very expensive at one time. His core elite, base elite is super cheap as well, and then you have this limited card. This is the one that we would be replacing for the power-up pass. Now, his redux isn't overly expensive, so this isn't a hard card to get at this point, but once was the best cornerback in the game, and if you take a look at some of the stats here, just very balanced. 93 speed, now that's feeling a little outdated right now, but I still think with a power-up pass, you figure 94 speed. Most people are going to have Shaker or Sprinter on there, which then makes him 95, 96 speed in that range. And now we're talking. You're going to get him in both man and zone above 90, so you're hitting both thresholds there if you rock lockdown. 6 foot even, really solid card. Played very well for me for the time that I did have him. And, you know, I don't think there's a ton of great options with this power-up pass, like I said before, but Shaquille Griffin, to me, is probably one of the standouts out of all of these possible cards that you can use it on. So if you need a cornerback, a shutdown guy who's good in man and zone, very balanced with solid speed, definitely check out Shaquille Griffin. So the next option is not really one specific player, but a position group, and we're going to talk about offensive line. So there's quite a few cards on the offensive line that you can use your power-up pass on, and we'll start with the most expensive one. That's going to be Joe Thomas. So you normally, right, and this is something, a motto I go by a lot, you normally want to spend your coins on skill position players, quarterbacks, halfbacks, wide receiver, cornerbacks, safeties, the rest of the guys in the trenches. You and I, we don't like spending our hard-earned coins on those cards. So that's when power-up passes come into play for me. You think about Joe Thomas, probably one of the best left tackles in the game. Who wants to spend $300K on an offensive lineman? Well, you don't have to when you have a power-up pass. So you can take a look at all of these guys I'm going to mention, Joe Thomas being one of them, which is a 94 overall. And then in the 93 range, we have a couple guys who got limited cards on the offensive line. The first one is going to be Andrew Norwell. Pretty solid card, not the best option out there, but he has a 93 overall card that you can use the power-up pass on. John Hanna, I believe you can use it on. He is good as well. I think his redux a 93, but his base is a 92, so don't quote me on that one. But you got Andrew Norwell there. Marquise Pouncey was a guy. Whoops, I'm picking the wrong position. There we go. So Marquise Pouncey, he was another guy that got a limited card on the offensive line. Center, if you need a center on your team. And then the third one here, or the fourth one I should say, is Brandon Brooks. And I actually used my power-up pass on Brandon Brooks just because I'm an Eagle fan. He's going to be on my team for a very long time. And I already had the limited, so I sold the limited, got some coins back from that and replaced it with a power-up pass. So again, just to recap there, if you're looking for any help on your offensive line, you don't want to spend coins there. Joe Thomas, the most expensive one, so that's probably your best option. Plus, he's a 94 overall. And then you got Andrew Norwell, Brandon Brooks, and Marquise Pouncey all on the offensive line to choose from. Told you earlier, the best option, in my opinion, is Shaquille Griffin. Number 2, or maybe even 1A, is going to be Tyreek Hill. This is his blitz card. Tyreek Hill is always going to be a very popular card within the MUT community. And this card is taking a bit of a backseat because we've gotten quite a few upgrades lately, like Jerry Rice, T.Y. Hilton, Randy Moss. People are forgetting about this card. Deshaun Jackson is another one, but still a really good card. One of the faster receivers in the game. You have to think there's a possibility that if the Chiefs can continue to make a run in the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, he might get one more upgrade. He could be an option if they get to the Super Bowl for a Super Bowl MVP card, which is a 99 overall. But if you need a really speedy receiver, of course, Tyreek Hill is there, and that's who you can use your power-up pass on. On my no money spent squad, this is where I will be using my power-up pass. I probably would have used it on my main squad too if that Deshaun Jackson card didn't come out last week. So that's why we're not using it there on my main team. But I know he's as good as advertised, right? 94 speed, his route running is good. With the power up, you're going to get him to 90 mid route running. He's already got 90 short route running, and deep is 93. So he hits all 3 of those route running thresholds that you're looking for. The only thing with this one and the cost of his route tech on here, a lot of people love man coverage, and route tech is a good way to beat it. But for this card, route tech costs 3 ability points, which is a little bit pricey, but still, all in all, Tyreek Hill, a great card, great option to use that power-up pass on. If you're looking for some help on the defensive line, and again, just like the offensive line, this is a place where you probably don't want to spend your coins. Warren Sapp is a really, really good option as a defensive tackle. I like this card because he's a power rusher. He can get to the QB. He's going to cause havoc there. But he also is sneaky fast with 76 speed. He can be a great spy when you face an opponent who likes to run a lot with their quarterback. He's sneaky fast, so he's very versatile in my opinion. And if you take a look at his 3 core rushing stats, he got block shed 93, power move 91, and finesse move 90. All of those above 90, which is something I tend to look for within pass rushers, defensive tackles, defensive ends, and whatnot. So Warren Sapp, I think, is a really good option. And again, I tell you guys all the time, I've said it multiple times in this video, you don't want to spend your coins there, so why not use a power-up pass? Now, the other option, if I could pick the correct position here, another guy in the trenches is going to be another 50 card, and that is going to be Julius Peppers, another card that is really good when it comes to speed. He can rush the passer. I use him a lot on my team, and one thing that I've talked about in older videos is that it's not a bad idea to have multiple pass rushers on your team. You know, with the blocker resistance feature that's added in this year's game with offensive linemen, sometimes it's good to have two primary pass rushers, and then maybe at halftime or in the third or fourth quarter, at some point, subbing in two fresh guys are going to reset that blocker resistance. So even if you're already set with your pass rushers on the ends, it's not a bad idea to pick up a third or fourth one, and Julius Peppers is really good. 86 speed, he's like 9 foot tall, he's really 6'7", I'm exaggerating. But again, block shed 90, power move 91, finesse move 93. I like this card. He gets to the quarterback a lot for me. Absolutely a good idea to use your power-up pass on. And the last option, more of an investment, thinking ahead, is Aaron Rodgers. If you're looking for a quarterback, he's pretty solid. There's better options out there. But with this 94 overall, you can use the power-up pass instead of buying this 50 card. The reason I'm putting him in here is because Aaron Rodgers is likely going to win the MVP, which means he's probably going to get an NFL honors card, which means he's going to get a really good upgrade, a 97, 98 overall card potentially. And if you want to get that card, it's going to be expensive, right? But if you're looking to power him up from the ground up, you can save yourself a little coin by not needing to buy this NFL 50 card or the 50 card for Aaron Rodgers. You can bypass this one with your power-up pass and work your way up to that NFL honors card that he is more than likely going to get. So this one, like the Isaiah Simmons, kind of thinking ahead a little bit, and the fact that you have two power-up passes to use gives you a little more flexibility if you do want to do that. Let me know who you used your power-up pass on. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.